Pine Citizen. Wonderful, wonderful names. So that's situated. There we go. There we go. Looking wonderful. Looking wonderful. Oh,
And that's why you should vote for me.
that is why you should vote for me. Our goal here is now to win the White House. Let's go for the highest level we
There
can.
you are, the next president of the United States.
Thank you,
That
thank
is,
you.
if you
thank
listen
you.
to my advice. My name's Anna. I'm your campaign manager. My job is to help you run a successful campaign. Together, we're going to persuade voters that you're the best candidate for the job. Let's get to work.
Let's see. Oh, let's work on our appearance. No African and American males. Apparently not so. Well, we'll play a sister then. We'll be playing a sister. Let's go. A good name, a good name. Let's see. Let's make sure our caps lock is on here. Does it matter? They're gonna capitalize the first one anyways for us. Well, how kind, how kind. Let's go ahead with T. If I'm not mistaken, that should be a 7 in Roman numerals. 5, 6, 7. And last name, of course, Blakey. Let's go ahead. Wait a second. Okay, what state shall we begin in? I mean, why, of course, the land. Our issues? Let's go ahead and choose a political party. Now, I am quite a fan of elephants. Elephants are wonderful, beautiful, magnificent creatures. And I could care less for a donkey. However, in politics, when we do plan to campaign here and run for presidency, I think it is quite important that we educate ourselves on each political party and properly determine which one we would like to align with, because apparently we can't be unaligned. Independence is not supported here. Let's do some surface level research on the Democratic Party. A little background right here looks like we can receive. Both the Democratic Party. What the fuck? Shut up. Apologies. I'm just slipping up here a little bit. Let's see. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party trace their roots to the Democratic Republican Party, which was founded in 1792 in opposition to George Washington's Federalist Party. Thomas Jefferson was an early leader of the Democratic Republicans and the party's first president. Support for the Federalist Party waned following the War of 1812, ushering in a period of uncontested Democratic Republican rule. After the presidential election of 1824 pit four Democratic Republican candidates against one another, the party split as members coalesced around winner John Quincy Adams or runner-up Andrew Jackson. The former group established the short-lived National Republican Party, a forerunner to the Whig Party, and eventually the modern Republican Party. The later group became known as Jacksonian Democrats before shortening their name to the Democratic Party, adopting the title in 1844. Chat, my eyes is doing that thing. It's changing what I'm seeing. Gotta throw on my glasses real fast. It helps out a bit. The Democratic Party is represented by the donkey, dating to Adams supporters calling Andrew Jackson a jackass. In 1828 presidential election, Jackson embraced the name, even including a donkey on campaign posters. Political cartoonist Thomas Nast began using the donkey to represent the Democratic Party as a whole in the 1870s. In the 1840s and 1850s, the Democratic Party experienced conflict over the questions of extending slavery to the Western territories. The unresolved dispute caused the party to split in 1860 presidential election. The party's fracture set the stage for the election of the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. You're a fan of Abraham. Bitterness over the Civil War and post-war Reconstruction. Real quick, let me educate some of my viewers real fast. Damn, bro, what the fuck happened? How you go from a teacher to us? Well, thank you for asking, former gamer. We have expanded our horizons. You know, after experiencing the education system of our country, as a teacher, I have determined that it is imperative that we build a whole new foundation for our educational system. And to do that, I will need to become president. I do have great big plans. Now, quick little background. At a point, the Republican parties and the Democratic parties, they were switched roles. You know, the Republican Party and Democratic parties, they swapped roles at turning points. You know, usually with starting from one singular president, and then, you know, of course, to get reelected, you know, the next candidate's gonna follow in the footsteps of the previous president. But quaint little background on our Democratic Party. Let's get a little background on our Republican Party and make a smooth little decision on which party we will be choosing to run for, which one we'd like to be a candidate for. It seems we've opened a PDF here. Oh, okay. This one's more up to date, apparently. Let's see. Current day Republican Party. The Republican Party held its national convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin from July 15th through 18th, 2024. Former President Donald Trump won a majority of delegates at the convention on July 15th, 2024. The National Nominating Convention is the formal ceremony during which the party officially elects its nominee and adopts a party platform. That's what we're aiming for here. Republican National Convention. Okay, we do not seem to be getting the same background here, but we can get a little run on historical presidential Republican nominees and presidents. So our first Republican nominee was John C. Fremont, and the first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln, who apparently changed locations during his presidency. And Bob Dole doesn't have a link, nor does TBD. Well, chat, as I said previously, I'm a fan of elephants. Elephants are wonderful creatures. I could care less for a donkey. And so, to make this quite alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip a coin. You know? So, let's go ahead and find us a good old lucky penny here. And let's go ahead and flip this and see what we land on. We'll go, considering the penny has Lincoln on it, we'll go heads Republican and tails Democrat. That was quite the bad flip. We're just going with. Okay, we're gonna try that one more time. We're gonna apparently we've forgotten how to flip a coin. You know what? We'll just spin it. Chat will spin it and see. You know, coins were never my favorite things. Never really my greatest strong suit. I've apparently lost that one somewhere on the floor, but we'll go ahead and spin another coin right here. Let's see. Somewhere behind the light there. Oh, almost had that one. There we go. And we have landed on tails. We will be choosing the Democratic Party. We have landed on tails right here, chat. Gonna slide this over. Just give it a little pick up. Watch the motion of my hand. We're down and we're up. Okay, no flipping, no turning. We landed on tails. We are the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is the older and more liberal party in the United States. Preview issues. Well, as I just said, education will be our platform. Let's see, is it just funding for education? Apparently so, but we have to make sure that these kids gets the help they need, because good gracious. Our primary debate has begun.
We need to win the party's primary elections before we run in the national race. Let's start by getting ready for your first debate in Iowa.
If there are any questions why I am running as an African American woman, it is because they did not have an African American male to choose from in their characters. Select our issue. Hot issues, equal access to healthcare, and climate change. Well, we did just say our federal education funding would be it is our top priority. But let's give a quick little address to equal access to healthcare. That is quite important. Quite important. All Americans have the right to be able to access and afford healthcare. The government has a critical role in supporting a healthier America. And for climate change, we must address climate change, protect our national resources, and ensure the quality of air, water, and land, both now and for the future. If we provide the future generations of our nation with a better climate, with cleaner water and cleaner air, then potentially their focuses can focus more on issues such as healthcare, education, gun violence. They're not worried about baking in the sun, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to select climate change.
I'm here to address climate change.
I'd like to hear your reasoning.
My reasoning for addressing climate change? Let's read these through. Why do you want to support this issue? Presidential campaign should play. Hold on a second. This better be a one-time thing. They're messing up my whole platform. We're here for education. presidential campaign should pay voters. That would be awesome. I want a healthier planet for all of us, our grandchildren and their grandchildren. There we go.
I want a healthy planet.
Okay. And how would you achieve that?
How would I achieve that? Well, wetlands. Chat, we need more wetlands in our nation, and we need to protect those wetlands. Let's make it easier for the government to make rules to protect our wildlife and natural resources. It should. Well, you know what? Our checks and balances are very important, and we shouldn't, Though, it would be nice to make it easier. Those checks and balances are there for a reason. I think listing all animals as endangered species will best protect them in their environments. Chat, we love our bacon. We love our bacon, and though we do not eat it often, we still do love our bacon. I think it makes sense for the United Nations or NATO to take over our government and run it for us. Let's go ahead talk about how
Let's
it
make
is
it easier for the government.
That might work.
making those decisions. They could be a little lighter. It could be a little less stressful to make those decisions. Was there a wrong choice? That's what I'm here to speak on. Let's talk about our education.
I stand for federal funding for education.
Yes, I do.
Explain yourself.
Our country needs to invest more in our children's public education. Yes. That is exactly
I can't argue with that.
what I am campaigning for. That is exactly what I am running for president for the education of our children, of your children, of the next generation of America and its leaders. That's enough of that playing. Now then, Jack. It has come to my attention that there is a sizable portion of American citizens who cannot vote due to their status, their civilian status. Rather, they have committed a felony, which, surprisingly, you'll be surprised what things can count as felonies in our country, who are no longer represented in our nation because they are no longer able to vote, which is quite a shame. What a shame. So let's support for voting
I want
rights.
to protect the right to vote. Do tell.
Why is she the same one asking me these questions? Let's stay calm and collected. Oh, it's getting a little hot in this building. We want to turn the AC on. Like that shouldn't be restricted. Voting rights sound good. Elections where the candidates have to sing. We need to create superheroes. Okay. Voting is a right that should not be restricted.
It shouldn't be restricted.
That is
Makes
very
sense, I guess.
important, but that isn't how I would have presented it. Do we have to answer all of these?
I'm fighting.
Explain yourself.
Fossil fuels. What? Part of the American dream is to live a long, happy, and healthy life. We could live for at least 100
Part
years.
of the American dream is to live a long, healthy.
With the right kind of
life.
health, yeah, we could live about 300 years,
Okay.
possibly.
And how would you achieve that?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. It's simple. Make sure all Americans benefit from healthcare coverage. Every household should have its very own doctor, just in case. Create an area that people can go and hang out that doesn't belong to any country. Let's go ahead and make sure all Americans benefit from healthcare coverage.
That might work.
One more issue to gain.
View Maverick issues? Maverick issues. Okay, chat. We have more issues. Securing the border. Protection of unborn lives. ending the ending the opioid crisis, limited government, job creation, gun rights, lower taxes, fight terrorism abroad, global independence, peace through strength, business innovation, and once again, securing the border. Well, chat, I believe that with simply creating more jobs will not solve all issues. However, more jobs do mean more working people, and more working people will bolster our economy in the long run. So let's work on business growth and more jobs.
I call for greater job creation efforts.
How does that make sense for a member of this party?
America needs to be attractive to its businesses to keep jobs in the United States. Adding fertilizer, voting rights sound good. So maybe fertilizer businesses is what America needs. That is quite a that's quite the metaphor right there. That's a nice metaphor she used. I like that. Voting rights sound good. Elections for the candidates. Okay, why is that bad?
Adding fertilizer helps plant.
Are you a spy from the other party? A bad one?
Wrong response. How? What? I'm gonna speak on these issues. How dare you? What? The wrong response. How's that possible? Let's go ahead and apparently we cannot bring up job creation again. Why is job creation not a priority of our party? How is any issue unique to only a singular party? These are issues that our nation is facing, and they should all be addressed regardless of which party you are a member of. I'm quite appalled, Americans. Fellow Americans, I'm quite appalled. Let's go ahead and work on okay. Let's go ahead and work on some lower taxes. You know, keep money in the pockets of our American people.
Lower
How does that make sense for a member?
We work hard for our money and deserve to keep most of it rather than pay a lot of taxes. I know there's a ton of money getting printed every day. If we need more money, we can just print it. This is the only thing that makes sense to say right here.
We aren't seeing eye to eye on this, but you made your point.
I am still appalled that
Fantastic
we
debate.
couldn't get more
You
job
show
creation
the
through,
primary
but here
voters
we go.
what issues are important to you.
It's time for our campaign kit. Keeping America greater. Vote for me. Winning for America. We're ready for change. Next stop, the Oval Office. For the win. Have you seen the competition? Ain't no comp. Keeping America greater. Vote for me. Let's go. Winning for America. We are winning for America. Here's our campaign kit. What in the? Oh. Is that it? Have we won our campaign? Oh. Yes, we have. Okay. Why? Thank you. That was very anticlimactic. There we go. Let's launch our campaign. It is time to win
the nomination
the
as
big
a presidential
desk,
candidate,
possibly
you
the
must
biggest
first
desk.
win a few
Hush.
key states.
Ma'am, please.
Take a look at the electoral
Ma'am,
votes
please.
you can get
Ma'am,
from each early
please.
primary
Oh my
state.
God, ma'am, please.
Let's
Quiet.
find out more about Iowa. You can now select Iowa to poll.
Door to door. Openly campaigning well. Opposed issues. Job creation. Campaign finance. Voting rights. Vote. Are we not in support of voting rights or more job creation? Apparently, climate change, preventing gun violence, and women's reproductive rights are on their agendas, though. Popular support will stay the same. Electoral votes are 60% over 40% of unknown. It seems we've
Now that you've polled Iowa,
done quite
you can
all right. We've
always
polled
view
the
the
nation.
polling data for that state.
We've polled the state.
If you want to see all of a state's info and what issue,
There you
it
go.
appears you need more money. Michigan can offer you $2. Better do some fundraising there so now you can.
2 smackaroonies. Wow. This is going to help us
It's important
greatly.
to personally visit states so you gain momentum there. To make your appearance, select Iowa. If one of your issues matches one, now you can make your. What would you like to tell Iowa when you visit? Decide what you want to say, then make your appearance.
Climate change is real, Americans. It threatens every single one of us every single day. And we must act now because it is imperative that we protect our planet to protect our lives and our livelihoods. Citizens know how to spend their money better than the government. Lower the taxes. America deserves the best schools in the world. The government has an important role in making those classrooms awesome. Chat. That's the one. That's the one we need here. But apparently for Iowa, you know, we have to play the part. We do have to play the part. Climate change is real. It threatens every single
Positive
one of
media
us.
rallies support for your ideas.
Okay.
Time to see how well you're doing. New Hampshire is another early primary. Now you can select New Hampshire. This opponent is a major contender in the primaries.
Job
Try
creation.
running a negative campaign against them. Now
Okay.
you can run the campaign. What would you like your media team to say about
Playing
your
a little-
opponent?
We're playing a little tricky games here. Not my style exactly, but we will do what's necessary to ensure that we secure better education for our youth in this country. Guess who thinks we should lower taxes for the rich? Putting business owners ahead of American worker and lower taxpayers. Donating money to a political campaign is a type of speech. Limiting donations limit speech.
Negative media attacks your opponent's platform.
Wow.
Well done! You've won the primaries. The momentum you gained carried you successfully through the rest of the primaries and
Well
caucuses.
done. Well
Let's head to
done.
the convention to select your running mate.
It's about to get patriotic as f***ing here!
Massachusetts. Shanti Raymond, strong foreign policy experience. Strong economic policy experience. Maryland, William Wade. Julie Chang, Colorado, former teacher, strong on education policy. Oh, chat, she is perfect for what we plan to do.
My vice presidential candidate is Chang. To my excellent campaign staff, to my friends, and to all.
Can
my
you be
fellow
quiet?
citizens
I'm supposed to be
of this
reading this.
great
What are you
nation.
doing?
With deep
I don't want to hear your
gratitude and
voice.
great humility,
Be quiet, man,
I accept
please.
your nomination to run for president of the United States. Let the race begin.
Chat, she's messing up my moment. I need her to be quiet. Let's see.
My vice presidential candidate is
Let's see who we are
Perez.
running against.
It is an honor to accept your nomination to run for president.
Their issues are the opioid crisis, global independence, limited government, securing the border, and peace through strength. Well, a vote for the future in winning for America. T7 Blakey on the road.
It's
We are
time to
currently
run for president. Do your best
down
to win more
by
voter
one
support.
electoral
This
vote.
is your opponent. They represent the other party and will be doing their. You can see how many electoral votes you have so far below. Remember though, you only have 10 weeks to campaign, so work hard to make the.
Apparently, we are winning democratically. It's a tough fight. It is currently a tough fight, but environment and equal access to healthcare, two issues we hold, are being addressed in Texas. Let's go ahead and, oh, that's going to cost us money that we do not have. We can do some fundraising in New York, which is a known Democratic state where we should get some good cash in. It is our opponent Richard's turn, and of course they went to Republican California to get the votes in. Okay, let's go ahead and chat. Let's try our best to win Texas with 38 electoral votes. California has quite a lot. Wow. New York also has many electoral votes. Let's go for the big ones, chat. Let's go for the big ones. We will go ahead and make go ahead and
You already have polling data for this.
we will go ahead and
We need to poll this state.
we'll go ahead and we'll poll in Florida. We'll see how is it looking in Florida. Florida seems to be dramatically in favor of Republicans.
This just in. Citizens feel that the Republicans failed to address some of the most important issues while engaging with voters.
Great. That was a positive for us, chat. Now then, we're holding these currently. Let's see if we could steal California, considering the fact that they are opposed to moving for climate change, but we have equal access to healthcare in common. Let's make our appearance, chat. The government will spend every tax dollar we give them. Healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans. Let's give our speech. Healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans.
The Democrats are doing really well at their latest stop on the campaign trail.
We are attempting in Alaska.
It's a sad day for the Democratic Party. The Republican presidential candidate was a big hit today.
Oh no, they're attempting to steal Alaska from us. But if we can pick up momentum in California, it could do us well. Let's go ahead and let's do some campaigning. Let's once again, but how big is the difference? In Florida it is dramatic, but in California we are much closer. Let's go ahead and do some negative campaigns or positive campaigns for ourselves. Let's give a positive campaign for ourselves in healthcare. And let's go ahead and once again repeat that healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans. Paid for by a group that supports this person.
It's a sad day for the Republican Party. The
New
Democratic
momentum.
presidential candidate was a big hit today.
We are attempting to win California. They're polling. Let's see what it looks like. Illinois has a lot of votes in there, and they're deep. They are deep. in Illinois currently, chat. But we have won. We are currently winning California.
If your popularity is low for a state right now, you can sway them in your favor by the end of the campaign.
We have swayed California into our favor. And let's go ahead and grab some funding from our great, big, friendly nation, Texas. And let's go ahead with this new funding. We will follow our road, we will follow our standings, and we will attempt to grab the votes of larger places, and we will attempt to hold on to them as tightly as possible. We are trying to get as blue as we can, chat. As blue as we can. In these deep red places, we want them to change their minds. Voting rights, care for poor and needy, immigrant reform. Chat, voting rights is a platform we have in common with Florida down here. So let's go ahead and pay them a visit to speak on voting rights. That's related to opioid. The right of adults to vote. The right of adults to vote is an American as well. Wait, the right of adults to vote is as American as well. It's the most American thing there is. That and the apple pie, of course.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over extremely well for the Democrats. Watch out, Republicans.
Presidency. Our presidency is all but guaranteed.
The Republicans are doing really well at their latest stop on the campaign.
And they are just helping us in Arkansas. Now then, let's go ahead and attempt to sway Florida even more by giving a nice little broadcast here, reiterating our support for voting rights. It's the most American thing there is.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over extremely
well done, well done. That one,
Breaking news. The Republicans' campaign made a big impact today. This party is on a roll.
Oh, chat, they did a little hit there. Let's go ahead and get a little pooling going in North Carolina or Georgia. Chat, let's see what North Carolina is thinking. And they are predominantly blue. And they're polling. And Pennsylvania. Wow. Phenomenally blue. Phenomenally blue. Chat, I think we're doing quite well in our presidency. As I said last week, it's all but guaranteed. States run, electoral votes gained.
Remember, it's still early in the campaign, so anything can happen.
Of course, of course. Of course. Chat, we cannot become conceited. Now then, let's go ahead and take some funding from our home state of Ohio. Ohio? What is going on? Chat, it is imperative that we immediately speak to Ohio. Ohio, let's pay the beautiful nation of Ohio a quick visit and talk about climate change. Climate change is real. It threatens every single one of us every day. And it is imperative that we take action now.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over extremely well for the
Thank you.
Democrats.
Thank you.
Watch out,
Hold them in. It's okay. I'm well aware. that we are killing it. The other side wants you to pay for neighbors' health care. That
Citizens
makes no
have
sense.
been hoping that the Republican presidential candidate would address some heavier issues, but were left unsatisfied.
Balanced out in Minnesota's chat. Let's go ahead and play our media poll. 43. This one's quite close. These ones are quite close. New Jersey. Let's run a media campaign in New Jersey. And let's speak negatively of all. Well, chat, there isn't really anything to oppose to. It'll be quite a waste. Quite a waste. No, I don't want to run the campaign anymore. Let me go back, please. Chat. They don't let you back out. Should check beforehand. Chat, we can't make it positive, we can't make it negative. We can't make it really negative. Let's go ahead and give it a... Let's talk about limited government, chat. Defund or end even more of our basic government services. What's next? No running water? Let's go ahead and run this ad, chat. Hopefully we can win New Jersey. Probably should have focused on our state of Ohio, but it's just gonna be purple.
This just in. Citizens feel that the
Well, that wasn't the best move we've made, chat, but... And where was this played?
The Republicans are doing really well at their latest stop on the campaign trail.
In New Jersey. Chat. That was quite an amusement. Into week 7. Yes. We must pull Florida and Ohio.
States is an information gold mine. Give it a try and see what.
I have been polling new states, and currently we are close to winning Ohio and Florida, 2 major states to take. New York, please put money into my pockets, and we hold California for the next turn, chat. Let's be mindful of that. We have more funding, and soon we'll have Florida as well. Florida, do you still want to talk about those voting rights? Because I love to tell you once again that the right to vote is as American as, well, you know, it's the gosh darn most American thing there is.
The Democrats are doing really well at their latest stop on the campaign trail. We'll see if they can keep this momentum.
There is no reason to do that, chat. Our momentum didn't even move really.
The Republicans...
Chat, the Republicans have landed in North Carolina. They're attempting to sway. Let's go ahead and run a campaign in Ohio, chat. Let's go ahead and once again address climate change and attempt to pull Ohio to our side. Hopefully we can get 3 momentum out for this one. I'm not sure if it was already at 3 momentum. I might be
The
tripping
Democrats
up here,
are
chat.
serious opponents
There
for
we
the
go.
Republican Party.
We are now moving with great momentum here, chat. And lastly, we will do some polling in Georgia.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over.
In Nebraska, they are pulling Nebraska to the purple. But let's see what Georgia is thinking. And Georgia is a blue state. Great to hear. Wonderful to hear. We love to hear it, chat. Let's move into week 6. 6 weeks left. We start for week 4 of this presidential campaign. We have gone fully blue. in California, and we have moved
Polling
into
new
great
states
deep
is an
blues.
information gold.
Into Florida, Georgia, Ohio, New York, Texas. We are pulling. Chat, we are pulling. And it is time to line our pockets with even more funding. And we have cut off one of his biggest funding sources. Florida is now gone. California, taken by us, of course. Chat, we are pulling. We are pulling and we are pooling. And we are going to get this win. Now then, chat. It appears that there is momentum in these states. We haven't done anything in Texas yet. If he comes into Texas, he could really turn things upside down for us, chat. So let's make sure we pay Texas a visit, and let's make sure we talk about, let's go ahead and talk about equal access to health care or climate change. Well, Texas has definitely experienced the effects of climate change firsthand. So let's go give this speech. I'm with you, Texas. I'm
The
with
Democrats
you.
are doing really well at their latest stop on the campaign.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
The Republicans are doing really well at their.
Massachusetts. We've already won Pennsylvania. Ohio is just. There's only so much time left. The opioid crisis. We cannot let them get Georgia. You must run a campaign into Georgia at this moment to address climate change. We cannot let them pull away with Georgia, chat. We will not let them steal Texas from us. We will not let them steal Florida from us. We will not allow the Republicans to win.
The Democrats are serious opponents
Because
of the Republican
when
Party.
we win,
Voters
America
were thrilled
wins.
with the direction of the
And when
Dems
these
campaign.
Republicans win, well, we can only sit and watch which way the pendulum swings. What state has this campaign
Breaking
been
news.
ran?
The Republicans
And
campaign
Alaska
made a
again.
big
Well, you know, not to say too much on Alaska, but I wouldn't waste my resources there. We don't have our sounds right now. It's all patriotic. Michigan. I should have been going to Michigan, chat. I've made a grave mistake in my plays. However, chat, New York has paid us well. Chat, we will win this election. We will win. Texas, blue. Ohio, blue. Georgia, blue. Florida, blue.
The campaign is halfway over already.
Chat, it's time. California, please give me some funding. It's time for me to make these plays, chat. It is time to make these plays. Let's go see what the polling is looking like in Michigan. Surrounded by red states, could they be a blue? Appears not, chat. It appears not. However, we could definitely if we put in the effort, chat, we could steal Michigan for ourselves.
breaking news. The Republicans campaign.
South Dakota, you're not in favor of education. Well then, chat, Illinois has many votes there, but we can't really take that one. I don't care. However, North Carolina, we have no shot. Virginia, we can very much steal Virginia for ourselves, chat. However, Michigan has more votes, and I think it is imperative that we focus on the higher voting states at this moment. Let's talk about access to healthcare. It is a fundamental right for all Americans. It is a fundamental right for every human being on this planet.
Breaking news. The Democrats.
Wonderful, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. In Alaska again? He really likes Alaska, chat. Now then,
The
chat.
Republican
We can follow this up with a media ad for education funding in Virginia. We talk about America deserves the best schools in the world. The government has an important role in making those classrooms awesome. It does. And with your votes, I will ensure that that role is fulfilled. Americans, vote T7 Blakey.
It's a sad day for the Republican Party. The Democratic presidential candidate was a big hit today.
Six weeks into this campaign. In chat, we inch closer and closer to winning the nation. Are we wasting efforts in Michigan, chat? Maybe so.
A successful campaign needs funding.
But we will not back down, chat. Beag. Give me that funding! I need that money. Thank you. Imagine only campaigning off of $2. I could never. Hey, Michigan? No, Virginia. Play the 2 in Virginia. Chat. We're playing chess, not checkers here. Healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans. It is imperative that we provide healthcare at affordable prices to all Americans.
Breaking news.
Obamacare.
Breaking news. The Republican.
Now then, chat. A media campaign in Michigan once again speaking on, this time, equal access to healthcare. Healthcare is a fundamental right for all Americans. It is imperative that we ensure. Well, chat, you know, this is really just showing me that the education is not.
It's a sad day for the Republican Party.
It is not viewed the way it needs to be. It's not represented the way it needs to be. It is so important. Education is so important, and it is just being completely shattered in our nation.
Citizens have been hoping that the
Well then, chat, let's go ahead and run a polling, and we've been all over the East. Let's go ahead and see what Tennessee is thinking. Because Tennessee is the only 10 I see. And that's why blue is on top, even if just by a little bit. You know, the blue numbers kind of get big, but it's small. We are officially 7 weeks into this campaign, and we are pushing hard for the win. We have taken Virginia for ourselves, and Michigan will soon follow.
Polling the state can really help you plan
Quiet, woman. That funding, chat. Florida, it's time I pay you a visit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go ahead and launch our appearance into Tennessee and win the nation. Oh, there's nothing we can say. There's nothing. We have wasted a time. We are trapped again. I assumed there would be something I could say. There really needs to be a way to back out of these. But what's going on? Is there really no way to back out of this? That's absolutely disgusting. Diabolical. Wasted time.
Why do we keep throwing tax money at failing schools? Let the parents in local communities
A great waste of $1.
The Democrats touched on some.
However, we could turn things around with a media campaign.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over.
They are attempting to take New Mexico from us. However, we will secure Michigan and Tennessee. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. We can only take this hit. We can only take this hit. Wow. Absolutely horrible. Wait a second.
What do you want to say?
Guess who thinks we should lower taxes for
Anna approved? Possible. It's possible.
The voters were disappointed after the Democratic...
Small mistakes.
The Republicans are serious opponents for the Democratic Party.
Chat, we are looking to win by a landslide. Let's see what Indiana is thinking. And Indiana is blue. Indiana is blue. We are on a roll. You guys, we have passed the 270 electoral votes mark, and we will keep pushing, chat. We will keep pushing towards greatness.
Your opponent can...
Texas! We will win this fight. You've been with me since the beginning, and I will not forget about you. To Arizona. We are to Arizona. Arizona is a weird state, but they are a weird state that can be taken. Heinous lies!
It's a sad day for the Democratic Party. The Republic.
Okay, chat, we will make an appearance in Arizona to speak on climate change. Well done.
The Democrats are doing really well at their...
And now we will run a media campaign in Illinois.
It's a sad day.
Chat, they thought they could get there before us. And they did get there before us. But voting rights are too important. They are simply too important in this nation. And we will fight for voting rights. For all adult Americans.
The Democrats are serious opponents for the Republican Party. Voters were thrilled with the
And we will work towards greater representation of our youth in this nation. Turn your face towards the sun. For our victory will be glorious, chat. I think it is
There's
time.
only 1 week left. Your campaign...
Let's go to California and gain some funding. California, I thank you for making the right choice. For For this nation, for this great land, we shall win. And now, as we have momentum in Arizona, we are fighting for Indiana. However, New York happens to be a place where he can't make any plays. Though I feel from the beginning we have had great support from New York. And it's imperative that we show New York some love and speak on equal access to healthcare in New York. They got them dirty ass rats. They need it. They need it. In New York. Thank you.
Democrats have a
Thank you.
Republican Party. Voters.
Thank you.
It's a sad.
Now then, let's run our media campaign in Indiana. Would they know you rewrote the game? Okay, chat. The right for all Americans to vote. Come on. Immensely important. And we will fight for it.
Today's efforts on the campaign trail went over.
Voting rights for all adult Americans. Hello, my
Today's
nuts.
efforts on the campaign trail went over extremely well for the Republicans.
Let's go ahead and roll on our next polling and let's head into Montana and see what Montana has to say. That was Missouri. I don't even know if Montana is a state, chat. I'm pretty sure Montana. Oh, they're blue, chat. Yeah, let's go. They are blue, and it is election day. I just said Montana. I saw MO. I was like, let me try my best, but yeah, chat. If Montana is a state, then it's one I do not know of. Many blues. They win. I promise they win. Not just for our party, but for our nation.
Congratulations! You
delivered.
beat your opponent by a landslide. The other candidates
Thank
could
you.
really learn a thing or two from
Thank
you.
you.
You obviously had a good strategy from the beginning. Enjoy being president.
We are now president of the United States. T7 Blakey has won the election. He flipped 3 of the biggest voting states possible. He flipped them to his side and he turned things around and he won this election. Look at all the states that flipped. Look at them all. No battleground states because it was all a guaranteed. It was all but guaranteed. Where's our certificate? We have won, chat.